You are watching and listening to Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube and your favourite podcasts.
Right, Chris.
All right. Good evening, good day, good morning, good afternoon, good night, goodbye. Hello, wherever you are in the world. Welcome along, LTID TV from Leicester Till I Die. And also a big, huge welcome to the Dugout Football Channel, who is joining us today for is it a Stimucast, or am I thinking Pornhub again? I don't know, but we're doing it together. That could be Pornhub again, couldn't it? Let's move on. Tonight, excuse me. Tonight we are going to be looking at the Euro 2024 group stage results and tables. I have a feeling it's going to be happier for one of us rather than the other. Not a lot happier, but one of us, as I say, at least has got through to the next round. But let's not rub it in too much for him. Let's have a bit of sympathy for our Celtic cousins. I've got to say, look, you can see the news there. Look, it looks like he's going. As somebody once said, if it looks like a crab, walks like a crab, and tastes like a crab, it's a crab. Personally, I don't want to taste anybody's crabs, but there we go. That's another film and another show altogether. If you do want to check out, we're not talking Dewsbury Hall tonight. You can actually get over. It says at the bottom there, go on to LTID TV 1. Goodbye, Mr. KDH. For those of you that remember the song Goodbye, Mr. A. This is where you will see all about it. We're not going to talk about it tonight. We want to try and move on. Talking about moving on, let's say hello to the Dino. Hello, Dino. How are you? Nice to see you. And Geordie, he is back again. Geordie, hello, sir. How the devil are you? Welcome along. Okay, this is what we're going to be looking at tonight. Euro 2024 group stage review. Let me get my guest in. Of course, the one, the only, the legend that is Doug, and he'll join me straight after this. Oh, that was nearly professional then. There we go. I clicked it, but not hard enough. It's always been a problem. Good evening, Douglas. How the devil are you, sir?
Good evening, Chris. I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I am, well, happier than you are about this show this evening, I am sure.
Yes, yes.
The only good thing is that we're going to, well, I did think about, should we start with Group A because that's the obvious place to start, or would that get your pain out of the way much too quickly? Should we start with Group F and work backwards? I wasn't sure what to do. I've got to say, you know Mike, who is the Man United Welsh fan?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was doing a watch long the other day, and one thing that we actually both share, we both wanted Scotland to go out, and it's nothing personal. You would have been the same towards England, wouldn't you? If that had been us.
Yeah, of course. It's all football rivalry at the end of the day. But yeah, I think it's safe to say the majority of Scotland fans wouldn't want to see England do well, and the majority of
No.
England fans don't want to see Scotland do well. It's at the end of the day, it's banter, it's rivalry, and you know what? We've gone out with a whimper, I have to add, but hey-ho.
Hey, it's football, isn't it? There's worse things going on in the world. And let me say, to whether you're watching us via LTID TV or the Dugout Football channel, what it says along the bottom there, subscribe, like, click that notification bell, and share and comment as well. Do that on both channels and give us your support. And if you support one channel or subscribe to one and not the other, well, we'll be talking so much over this next season. Now we're back in the Premier League that you might as well subscribe to us both, mightn't they, Doug?
Absolutely, yes. It's always nice to see Leicester City back in the top flight, and yes, we have our annual game on Boxing Day. I can't wait.
It wouldn't be Christmas, would it, without playing?
No, of course it wouldn't. Of course it wouldn't. It actually wouldn't be. It wouldn't be December, because we usually do get each other by December, and it is usually about Boxing Day.
Lee is in. Hi, Lee. That's fine.
Hi, Lee.
How you doing, mate? Geordie says, I wanted Scotland to get through the group stages. Their fans were fantastic. Look, take nothing away. Like I say, it is banter. And as we get through this chart, I wasn't so horrible, because I actually had Scotland to finish higher in the group than you did, mate. So we can't knock it too much. But anyway, let's have a look, because after the disaster that was our qualification group predictions, let's put it this way. Neither of us reached the 50% mark on our predictions. Let me just leave it at that. But before we start, and we will be starting with Group A, I won't prolong it for you. I put a comment. It was very tongue in cheek up on my Facebook page. Is anybody enjoying the Euros this year? I haven't got that buzz about it yet.
I think there's been some games where, like Netherlands Austria, for example, when you've had like 5-goal thriller, and then you've had like for me personally, I think Netherlands Austria is the game of the tournament for me, but followed by Turkey against Georgia. Now, on paper, you'd probably say those two games were probably, looking like not really good games to watch. But actually, I watched both of them, and they were very, very good watches. So I've enjoyed it. I have to say, I have enjoyed it. It's been sort of the tournament of goals so far, the tournament of own goals as well. I think own goals is leading the way for top scorer. But I've really enjoyed it.
Does he qualify to play for Scotland?
Well,
asking for a
allegedly.
Sorry, mate. Look, you opened the door. I had to walk through, didn't I? I really did.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I mean, there's some groups have been more interesting than others. I mean, for example, England's group was probably well, they said it's like the group of death and all that. That was the group of boredom. It really, really was. But let's go through it. For me, yes, that Turkey-Croatia game, wow. It was not Turkey-Croatia, sorry. Oh God, I've forgotten. Who did they play? Georgia. Was to me, again, like you said, that was probably the game of the tournament. But let's go through this first of all, I say, and look at them group by group. So we're going to start with A, and like I say, we'll get you get your pain out the way first. Germany there, as you can see, top. In fact, let me just delete my logo, and then you'll be able to see. There we go. That's better, isn't it? Germany top, Switzerland second, Hungary third, Scotland fourth. We both, Doug, had Germany to be top.
Yeah,
I think even a Tory politician would have made some money on that bet, wouldn't they? You had Hungary second.
Yeah.
And in fairness, I actually had Scotland second. I really thought you were going to give this one a go and be on the back of your great. I mean, because it was a great thing for you to qualify, and I thought on the back of that you will go for that. Then you had Scotland third, I had Hungary third, and we both had Switzerland fourth. So from that one, 2 points for me, 1 for you. Not a good start, but memories of this group.
I think if you look at Germany, it's been a very, very good tournament for them so far. I think the only surprise for me, I think, is they've not finished on 9 points in this group. Because I think all the credit has to go to Switzerland. I think they've been kind of the proverbial team that usually gets through these sort of to the latter stages usually, and I think you've got to say I think Switzerland have been very, very impressive, but Germany have plugged away. You know, obviously, you know, the win against us, and then obviously the win against Hungary, and that took them through. Still think Germany defensively look a bit suspect. I think going further into the tournament, they're definitely going to have to improve defensively a little bit. I actually think Switzerland, you know, I know they play Italy next round, which will be a very, very interesting game as well. But they look like they could go far. Hungary, big disappointment. Big disappointment. I think a lot of people. I think they're the 2021 version of Turkey, where everyone sort of had Turkey as their dark horse. I think most people had Hungary to be their dark horse. It just didn't really happen for Hungary, up until obviously the last game as well. But I think 3 points was always going to be a bit of an uphill struggle. I think if we're being honest, especially with other groups that we'll get to. 3 or 2 points was always going to be a struggle to get through.
Yeah. What before we get on to delving into this group in a little bit more detail, I can't stand the fact, and again we'll look at it in more detail later, but I can't stand the fact that teams that have finished third get through sometimes with less points than other teams that finish third because of the way it's worked out. I mean, just make it. If you're going to have that, have the top 3 go through or something like that. But it could be this or this, depending on whether you've got more yellow. I mean, it's absolutely stupid, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they're going to have to look at that because I think now we've obviously there's the Ukraine. I feel sorry for the most because they finished on 4 points and they didn't even qualify. But I think that was because of the damage being done in the first game, getting beat 3-0 by Romania. It's happened once before. Canada, Norway. Sorry, Norway in Euro 2000, they got 4 points. They finished third and they didn't get through. Yeah. So it can happen.
I know, but it's stupid, isn't it? Because if you talk about the best third place teams, that was Ukraine for me. For me, look, top 2 goes through, bottom 2 don't, and that's how it should be. I don't want to read too much into Germany, and please don't take this the wrong way, but the first game, obviously the Scotland game, that's kind of thrown their stats and their information out a little bit because that was, I think, the highest scoring game of the tournament so far with 6 goals. But and obviously Germany scoring all 6. Sorry, I shouldn't have thrown that in, should I? But no, I mean, so that's kind of blowing them up, a little bit. But you just know Germany are going to do well. They're going to be there or thereabouts, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so. And you look at obviously the left side of the draw has all the sort of the contenders for the tournament, and then you've obviously got the other side of the draw where it's got like England, Austria, Switzerland, Italy, and other teams there as well. It is so open, and that anyone in Germany, France, Portugal, or Spain is not going to make the final, which is mental to say the very, very least. But I do think
on our side, aren't they?
What's that?
I think France are on our side of the group, aren't they?
No, they're not. They're on Germany's side of the bracket, apparently.
Right. I did this yesterday, and it was very late at night, so I may well have got that wrong. Hi, Miss Melina. How the devil are you?
Hi, Mel.
let's get Scotland out the way. What went wrong?
I'll be honest with you. Like when we did our show last week or a couple of weeks ago with the group stages, I said then I didn't have very high optimism going into this group. Basically, from what happened the last time, I think a lot of people went into the last Euros with a bit of high optimism. This time, like I think to basically put it into words, the Tartan Army have been absolutely fantastic. The football side haven't been great. I just think we went into it, and Steve Clark had a sort of a notion of playing defensive football. Like 5-4-1 in an international tournament is not great. Yes, it is obviously to be tight, be compact, and obviously one striker up front is just not good enough. And we just did that for all three games, which was really, really annoying. And we only really started attacking. Like, take the Hungary game, for example. It was like pass, 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 pass. We never looked like scoring against Hungary up until the 83rd minute, where Grant Hanley has an opportunity to, put the ball in the back of the net. Honestly, we just haven't been good enough. And if we had beaten Hungary, and if we had potentially gotten through, we would have been hammered by like a Spain or a Belgium to come. Because if I'm being honest, we just didn't deserve to go through. We've been poor all tournament, and it sort of begs the question now: is Steve Clark taking Scotland as far as he can? I think possibly he has. Yeah. But the problem with the SFA is that I don't think they're going to have the balls to get rid of him, because the severance pack is quite high apparently. So. But it's all about planning for 2026, and we'll see what happens.
That was going to be my next question, actually, because I was watching. It's very rare that I actually watch the pundits these days, because to be quite honest with you, it's not what I watch football for. I want to watch the football. And David Moyes was BBC or ITV, I can't remember which one now, but he was doing the punditry. I mean, he was, as you know, he was one of the guys that I wanted to come in at Leicester, along with Steve Cooper. So I did get part of my wish. I would have been very happy with David Moyes coming in. You've got to think, I suppose, severance packages. But even if you get through to the World Cup, if that happens again, you can't. You literally just going down fighting, and like you said earlier, your words, going down with a whimper. Is David Moyes the guy or the man that could come in and at least put a bit of bite into the Scottish team?
You'd like to think so. I think David Moyes is enjoying his break. I think he's been a very good pundit for the BBC. I think he's been really, really good.
Yeah.
I will say, though, he does have a tendency to be negative as well as Steve Clark has, Spencer. So again, but he does like to attack. He does. We saw what his West Ham side could do. Europa Conference League, they won that, and I think he deserves a lot of credit for what he done at West Ham. But I think he's just enjoying his break at this moment in time. But if it wasn't to be Moyes, I mean, there's not really many managers out there who could really, come in. But
yeah,
I'm kind of thinking like down the foreign route. But the last time we went foreign didn't go very well.
You did mention that in the preview show, and I did remind you of certain Mr. Voigts that came in.
Yes. 2-2 against the Faroe Islands was one result I could seem to remember. Yeah. So yeah, like whoever comes in, it's a very good bunch of players, but what Steve Clark has done, managing to get us to 2 Euros in a row, is fantastic. But just being so negative, like playing so negative in both tournaments is very disappointing now.
But do you think it's like when Man City first had the injection of money from the Middle East? They kept getting through to the Champions League, but it took them about, I think it's 3 attempts or even possibly 4 to get out of the group stage. So is it on that side play devil's advocate, is it worth keeping hold of Steve Clark if he can get you there?
I mean, I think if he doesn't get us to 2026, then I think he's gone. But the only way Steve Clark leaves Scotland if he either resigns or walks away. So we'll wait and see. I think he'll go back and have a bit of time with family. Then the inquest will start, and then obviously we've got the Nations League starting in September. So not got much long to sort of make a decision. But in my gut, honestly, feeling what's going to happen, I think he'll stay. I think he'll stay.
Okay. I mean, in fairness, it wasn't the hardest of groups, was it?
No. I mean, barring sort of Germany and Switzerland, Hungary and Scotland were very disappointing.
Yes, yeah. And I think Scotland were punching above the weights as well a little bit. And you're quite right. So France are on that side. I was thinking Holland. I knew there was two big ones on our side.
Yeah.
Well, funny enough, I've written Italy and the Faroe Islands. you were talking about the Faroe Islands. But they're not on our side of the group, but Holland are. But so that is group A, and I'm sure we will be repeating a lot of what we've just said about Scotland and Steve Clark when it comes to England and Gareth Southgate in a second. But now Group B, here we go. Spain top. Italy, lucky bastards. Italy second, Croatia third, Albania, bless them, are fourth. Now, here we both got Spain first, so we got that right. We then both went for Croatia second. You had Italy third, Albania fourth. I actually had Albania third and Italy fourth. Let's just look. I mean, I made a few notes there. Spain 100% start. They are the team that have impressed me so far.
They're the team to beat for me. I think they've been very, very good. 3 clean sheets in a row. They dismantled Croatia. I think the biggest disappointment in this group has been Croatia. But no, Spain for me, they are the team to beat for me.
Definitely,
they've got. I mean, to basically say that it's a very, very young side would be an understatement when you've got a 16-year-old playing right wing for you. But they've been fabulous. They've been absolutely fabulous. Fabian Ruiz, obviously, Yamin Lamal, obviously Nico Williams as well. Rodri. Even Carvajal's getting goals for Spain as well. No, Spain for me are definitely the team to beat at the moment.
And I mean, they started off with the 3-0 win over, and this wasn't on paper to me. This wasn't an easy group because you've got 3 very good teams in there, and Albania, who I think have done a bit of a Scotland. They've done really, really well to qualify. They qualified top of the group, and I thought they might take that momentum on again. It wasn't to be, but it was great to see them. I think it was their first one in 30 odd years or something since they've been in a tournament. But look, Spain set out against Croatia, like you say, absolutely destroyed them. The big game, which was obviously the Italian game, they came out on top on that one as well. And then the last game, okay, you could say they struggled against Albania. I think there's quite a few changes in that team, wasn't there? Because at the end of the day,
they made 10 changes in that game.
Yes, yeah. So and they still did what they needed to do, which was win 1-0. Croatia, big disappointment for me.
Yeah, massive. I don't think they've been anywhere near what we've expected. And the one thing as well, that Albania game when I think they were 1-0 down like at half time, and then obviously came back to sort of win 2-1. But the one thing you don't do is concede right at the very last kick of the game, because you're always having a bit of a struggle. And then against Italy, I thought they were the better team against Italy. But again, last minute equaliser for Italy is sadly sent them out. You've obviously put there Croatia Modric's last finals. Well, Modric is now the oldest scorer at a Euros at the age of 39. I think it will be his last Euros. I'd be very surprised if he makes the World Cup.
Sorry to talk over you, Dub, but no, don't know if you saw he did an interview with an Italian journalist, and the Italian journalist was saying, "Thank you very much for all that you're doing," blah 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 in Italian, and Modric didn't actually say that he was going to retire.
Well, I think he'll only know when he wants to retire because of his because of like how good his legs are. But what I will say is Luka Modric has been a fantastic footballer to watch. He's been fantastic wherever he's been, and it just unfortunately, Croatia. I think they got an agent side. I think a lot of these players will probably look to maybe say like enough's enough, and they obviously let the younger guard come in. But yeah, for me, I think Croatia have been a massive disappointment. But if we're being honest, Albania haven't really disappointed for me. I've been very impressed with them. I know. Obviously, they've gone out and finished bottom, but they scored the fastest Euros goal in 30 seconds against Italy, and they nearly managed to beat Croatia.
If you look at Albania, like you say, they scored very, very early against Italy, and that's something you can't take away from them. They held Croatia to a draw, 2-2, and they only just lost. All right, it was a many change Spain, as we've just said, but still, on paper, Spain's B team should beat Albania, and again, it was only just the 1-0. They did. Again, I don't want to keep saying it, but they did box Scotland in, and they went down fighting.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been, as I said, I've been impressed with Albania, and I think as well. I think Silvino is a very, very tact-minded coach as well. So it's just going to be. We'll just need to obviously wait and see what will obviously happen. If they can make a World Cup, then absolutely fantastic for them. But yeah, they've definitely gone out fighting, and they'll be back. They'll certainly be back.
Italy, they're on our side of the tournament, and we'll come on to England in the next group. But they've disappointed me.
Yeah, flattered to deceive, haven't they?
Yes, that's the phrase.
I think they are a team in transition for me. Now, what I will say about that is they've lost Bonucci and they've lost Chiellini. They've lost that spine at the back. So they've obviously had to have, I think, Bastoni and Calafiori, who have been very good to be fair. Their lack of striker is worrying me though. They don't have an out and out goal scorer. They've obviously had Scamacca, they've had Raspadori play. I think, the fact that they've had players from like Bastoni and Barella kind of says a lot to me. And I couldn't tell you that the goal scorer against Croatia, Rechny, I think that's how you say it.
I'll go with you on that one, mate.
They're not sort of like, none of them are strikers. So it's really, really disappointing to see. But look, I think this Italy team is, as I said, is definitely in transition. Yes, they've got through, but I think they've got a tough game against Switzerland. I really, really do. I think they've got a very, very tough game tomorrow, and I would not be surprised if we maybe see the holders go out tomorrow.
Yes,
I would not be surprised, because I think they are planning for 2026.
Yes, no, I would agree with you. And I was just to say this about Germany. Sometimes they are quite prepared to say we're not going to do very well at this tournament because we're looking at the World Cup next or whatever was coming next, and we're giving the players a time to bed in. You can never see the English press letting England get away with that, can you? But no, I think Italy, as I said at the start, lucky bastards, and I can see them. Say struggling against Switzerland, if not going out. And as Goals Galore says there, Donnarumma is carrying Italy. No leadership at the back.
I agree. Trust them, absolutely.
Talking about having one player, and this is the thing with Croatia, is have they relied too much on Modric? I'm not saying they haven't got some other good players, but has he carried them a little bit?
I think he has to an extent. I think. Look, I think that I think Croatia got a very good goalkeeper in Lebakovic. So I think he'll probably still sort of continue. Again, defensively, they've lost. I think they've lost Lovren. They're sort of losing their spine. I mean, Brozovic, Kovacic. They're sort of 30 plus now, and Modric is obviously the oldest of that at 39. It is an aging squad, so it's maybe time for some of the old guard to go, and then obviously some of the younger guard to come in. But I think to an extent they have sort of relied too much on Modric. It was like the game against Albania. That every time they passed the Modric, they were expecting something to come off, and it just didn't happen.
Yes, yeah. Right, well, look, it's time for you to get your own back now as we look at Group C. Roll your sleeves up, everybody. Hide behind the settee or under the table. Here we go. Group C, England top, Denmark second, Slovenia third, Serbia fourth. Kind of, I suppose, where you might have expected it. We've got 2 points each in this one. We both had England finishing top.
Yeah.
I had Denmark second. You had them third. You had Slovenia second. I had Serbia third, and you had Serbia fourth. Let's start at the bottom. Serbia disappoint again, and I put again because I think they're disappointed at the World Cup.
They were very poor at the World Cup. They were very poor here. What can we say? I mean, I know the term sort of relying on someone to get you goals is a cliche at these times, but Mitrovic, he's played all of his season in Saudi. We haven't seen what he's done. Sergei Milinkovic-Savic, again, played in Saudi. We haven't seen them. So I think not to everyone's surprise that I predicted them to finish bottom. Again, not been good enough. Not been good enough.
Yeah. Looking at the rest, I mean, the whole group. People have had a go at England, and look, I did a show yesterday where I was having a go at Southgate, and we'll come on to Southgate in a second. But it's been for me, it's been the most boring of all the groups. One win out of all the games. Yeah, and that was a very tight 1-0 for England. We always start poor. Somebody reminded me the other day, one of my delivery guys, I was talking to him, and he said, at the 66 World Cup, England started really, really badly, and obviously we went on to win it. I said, yes, but we've been bad at every we started badly at every final since then, and still not bloody won it again. Slovenia, 3 draws, gets them through. Deserved, I don't think so. Denmark, again, have failed to impress me.
Yeah. I don't know why. I just had a feeling they might drop out again. Obviously it wasn't to be. Did you actually hear the reason why Denmark finished above Slovenia?
No. Do explain.
Slovenia's assistant manager got a yellow card, so which meant Slovenia had 4 yellow cards to their name to Denmark's 3. So because of Denmark having the same amount of points, the same amount of goal difference, it was that yellow card for the Slovenia assistant that allowed Denmark to finish second.
Wow. Now, in a way, it's stupid. But how else do you do it? I mean, when you look at Denmark and Slovenia, they have, played 3, drawn 3, scored 2, conceded 2, both 0 goal difference. I mean, that guy must be feeling pissed off. I bet the manager's having a bit of a go at him. But How else could they actually have done that? A penalty shootout between them, or
I don't know, but yeah, I mean, as we've said, Denmark have just been very. I think the only player in that Denmark team that's really impressed me is Christian Eriksen.
yeah,
I think, and obviously the guy that scored against England, name Hjulmand that scored, I think it was. Yeah, apart from that, they've not been great, Denmark. But I think, yeah, well done to them for getting through. But as I said on the preview show, they've had a couple of bad tournaments recently.
yeah.
So for them to get through, they'll be very happy. Just unfortunate that they're meeting Germany next round.
Yes. Well, they've got to go for it, haven't they? That's the thing.
Yeah.
They can't.
Yeah.
They can't sit back this time. They really do have to go for it. I mean, I thought Vestergaard was immense. Not showing any favouritism there whatsoever. No, he was awful. To be honest with you. But look, let's talk England. Slovakia next.
Yeah.
Are we ever going to win anything? And I jokingly said this to the Talk Sport guys. I was on a show, the transfer show, just before the Euros, and they said to me I was being very honest. And would I be honest and say what I thought about England's chances? And I said, we ain't never going to win it with Kane. What other player goes from an English team to the best team? It's like somebody going to Barcelona, and that's the season they don't win anything. That was you can take Tottenham out the lad, but you can't take the lad out of Tottenham or the other way around, whichever it is. And yeah, I know he got one of the goals, but it's just been totally, utterly boring football from England.
Yeah. I mean, I think if we're being honest, I think yours has been a centre back in Mark Guehi.
Yes, excellent.
I think he's been absolutely outstanding in the 3 games that I watched. And not bad for obviously like a player coming from obviously Crystal Palace as well.
Yeah.
But this group, honestly, I mean, the Serbia game, you should have been at least 2 or 3 up at halftime. I think you should have been about that. I think you were playing very nice stuff in that first half. It's just same old Southgate. You just sit back, allowed pressure, and you nearly drew with Serbia. Denmark game, get the girly goal with Harry Kane, which was very good, and then sat back, allowed Denmark on, and they obviously got the winner. And then that second half was an absolute disgrace. I mean, Denmark should and probably should have won that game if they had strikers firing. And then the England-Slovenia game, I think, was the worst game of the tournament for me. There was just nothing to get excited about. And we talk about Southgate being a manager that's got the inability to change things. We can see, I think millions of people can see, Phil Foden is not a left winger. So why are you playing Phil Foden left winger?
Yeah.
If you play Phil Foden, you play him centrally. That's where all his goals from Manchester City came last season. You drop Bellingham back into midfield with Rice, because Alexander-Arnold is not a midfielder. I've been saying this for a number of weeks, and especially from watching obviously England on the outside. Alexander-Arnold's not a midfielder, so that's another thing to say as well. You've got a left winger in Anthony Gordon, who I think's had 5 minutes all tournament. Conor Gallagher, look, I'll be honest. Conor Gallagher has had a magnificent season for Chelsea. He has. He has been good. But the one thing Southgate does, it must annoy you Englishmen. You start Trent Alexander-Arnold. The first change against Denmark, bring Conor Gallagher on for Trent Alexander-Arnold. One change against Slovenia, Conor Gallagher for Trent Alexander-Arnold. It just must infuriate you.
But then you drop Trent Alexander-Arnold for the third game, but bring him on.
Yeah,
towards the end.
Bring him on at left back. I mean, and again, Trent is not a left back. It's just unbelievable from Southgate.
he's not a bad player, Trent. I like him as a player, but
Yeah.
play him in his position. I mean, I said yesterday, like I say, I did a show with Brad, and again, it's available on LTID TV1. About is it time for Southgate to go? And I've defended Southgate a lot. You know, anybody that watches my channel regularly will know. Defended Southgate a lot. Not saying that he's the best manager, etc., etc., but he has got us. Forget the Nations League because that's just glorified friendlies. But everything else, he's taken us to a quarter, a semi, and a final. And I just thought he got too much criticism. You know, I think a lot of his criticism was unjust. After those 3 games, I cannot defend him any longer. Look, to me, the job of an international manager is the easiest management job in football because you have got the best of your country's players, right? As a manager, and maybe I'm being too simplistic here, I don't know. I would say, right, I've got a formation that I like to play. That might be 3-5-2, 4-4-2, 5-3-2, whatever. But that is my formation. Now, let me pick the best players for each position. Now, if I've got a player that doesn't fit in that position, it fit into my plan, I don't take him. No matter how good he is, I say, well, yeah, he's a fantastic player, but I'm not going to be able to play to his strengths because he plays in a different formation. So you've got your 20-odd players all there, 2 in each position, and they don't even need training because that's the position they play week in, week out for the club.
Yeah.
You don't need to do anything tactics. It's just fitness and a bit of knockabout football because you say, right, you know, you're a left back. You know your position as a left back, you know, and if left back 1 isn't working, stick left back 2 in. That, to my mind, that's my international football management for dummies. I mean, am I being too simplistic, or am I talking out my bottom? I don't know.
No, I think the fact he's only taken one recognised left back and Luke Shaw, who, let's be honest, has been injured, but has actually said in the press that he's actually going to be fit for this game. A miracle. There's some players in that squad where I'm like, well, Lewis Dunk not going to get any minutes. Adam Wharton probably not going to get any minutes. Getting 5 minutes. It's just the guy. The guy is just. I think a lot of people that night turned on Southgate. I think a lot of people turned on Southgate. And look, I think there's a lot of people who have probably now said that it's time for him to go.
Me, I'm one of those. You know, I have. His contract expires in December. I know. There's Craig from up the cherries in all departments. He wants him gone tomorrow and get somebody in the middle of the tournament. That's not going to happen. The other thing that got me is that England have gone into this tournament without any target being set for them.
Yeah.
How does that work out? I've worked in sales all my life, and I've always worked to targets. I know when Claudio was at Leicester, he said, my target is 1 more point than what we got last season.
Yeah.
After that, it was, right, we need to get top half. Then, and it was setting different targets. Then it was Europe. And it was only when we'd guaranteed Champions League football that he went, right, we're going to go for the title now. And it was realistic targets. You cannot go into a tournament like this and say to the manager, no matter what you do, you're fine, you got a job, don't worry about it. Fucking hell, what?
Yeah, it's just, I think from what we've obviously seen as well, that, you know, I think there's an ability to change things as well. I mean, I've seen rumours that Kobbie Mainoo might start on Sunday. I think he's a good player. Don't get me wrong. I think he's been I think he's been probably one of the ones that's like tried to change things.
He looked good when he came on in the last game. Didn't get very long again, but he looked really good when he came on.
And as well, I know he gets his critics, but Pickford's been okay, I think.
Hasn't put a foot wrong, really.
No, I actually, do you know the funny thing that is? There was one I can't remember who I said it to, but I said you watch Jordan Pickford might be up there for the Golden Glove.
Yeah, might well be. Kane, look, Gareth, grow a pair. Yeah, look, we've got the top scorer from the Bundesliga. We've got player of the season from La Liga. And we've got another top player in there as well. I can't remember who the third one was in the quote. And yeah, we're playing like we're playing. I didn't even say Kane. I forgot he was on the pitch of a couple of those games. You've got to have a manager that's got to. It was like watching Brendan's Leicester City at times.
Yeah.
1-0 up, right? We'll go defensive. Fucking hell. We're 0-0. Second half, we'll go defensive. Jesus Christ.
I mean, Southgate does not have the balls to drop Kane.
No.
And I think as well, the problem is he is England captain. I think as still England captain, which I think is good. Is still going to annoy a lot of people, but I think it's time to pass the baton on. Because for me, Ollie Watkins is a very good season at Aston Villa. I would probably start him. Just try something different. This might be the game to try something different.
Yeah, I think Southgate's scared.
Yeah.
And I get it. If he drops Kane and let's say we lose 2-1 and we miss a penalty, everybody was shouting, Harry Kane would have got that. And if Harry Kane had been playing, but he's got to have the balls to stand up and go, but Harry Kane wasn't brilliant for 3 games. So I decided not to play him. I'm the manager. I make those. I think he's too scared to do that.
Yeah, I think he is as well. Because we all know what the English media is like. I think they are baying out for Jude Bellingham to have a really bad game, and then they'll go after him. Saka to have a bad game, they'll go after him. Yeah. The English media is just ridiculously bad.
Totally agree. 100%. But look, I think Scotland versus England, I think you've just beat me on a points decision. Knocking each other there. Couldn't disagree with anything you've said there. Like I say, when we get home, please don't leave it till December. Just get Gareth out now. I know Lee Carsley is being mentioned. Don't know enough to say whether that's good or not. Potter, I know, is holding out. Why? What the hell has he ever done that earns him the right to do that? Eddie Howe, it's got to be, surely. It's got to be, for me, we were talking before about nationalities of national team managers. For me, it's got to be English. And Eddie Howe, okay, you could argue he hasn't really won much, but no, he kept a club up that was on minus 17 points, and he took that same club from the 4th tier to the 1st tier. Yes, they got relegated, but he brought them back up again. So, no, I mean, for me, it's Eddie Howe. I don't think he's in at the moment, but Craig, if you are in, at least if you see this next slide, you'll be able to finally tell the difference between the French and the Dutch flags. Same colours, they just hang differently. He had that trouble down the pub the other day because of the way that they'd hung the flags. The French one was hanging, or the Netherlands was going downwards as well. Why have they got 2 French flags? I'm saying it's not, mate. But bless him. But I think he's actually he had a few drinks. I was down the pub with him earlier. So I think he's actually either being told off by the missus or he's gone to bed to sleep the drink off. I just catch up with a few comments, first of all. Didn't Harry Kane miss a penalty versus Italy? Yes, he did. England should have bought Harry Maguire along for set. He's injured, I think, isn't he, Harry Maguire?
Yeah, calf injury. Injury.
Hey, hiya, Rennie. How you doing?
Rennie.
Potter got 10th with the mighty Swans. Not Klopp. No, I'm sorry. Like him and love him. And look, I know everybody from Liverpool loves Klopp, and fair enough. I think he was personally overrated. I don't think he'd have lasted as long as he did at Liverpool, at Chelsea, or a Man United. But what he did in that one season deserves a statue. Should he be, what would happen if we drew Germany in the semi-finals of the World Cup?
Yeah.
If we do go for a foreign manager, Italian, French, I kind of get it. But there's 3 countries we do not have a manager from. One, obviously, Scotland. It's got to be. You know, we can't have a Scot manager in England. I know Fergie nearly, but no, I'm sorry. Secondly, German. No, we can't have a German manager. No. Everybody's saying Pochettino. Argentinian manager managing England. No, 100 times no. I'd sooner have Big Sam back than an Argentinian, German, or Scottish manager.
I did see the rumours about Pochettino. I was like, I'm not so sure an Argentinian in charge of England would be great.
Goals did say Potter did well in Sweden as well. All I'll say to that is Roy Hodgson did well abroad. He was Swiss manager for a while, and he managed, I believe, in Sweden. Would you have Roy Hodgson back? Rest my case. I know Doug's just shivered as if somebody's walked over his grave when I said Roy Hodgson. White English, our women's team sacked Phil Neville and hired Serena Wakeman and won. It's just, don't get me wrong, if somebody comes in and gets the job and they do well, I will back them. Just an opinion. My opinion is, for an England manager, we should have an English person. Renee, read the description below. We're not talking KDH in here. They don't like it up them. They don't like it up them. Goals Galore says, get Roy Hodgson in. I don't mind, I'm Welsh. Roy Hodgson as the manager, that's another show totally for Doug. Right, Group D. Let's get back to this now. I've put there Austria the surprise package, France failed to impress, Holland uninspiring, Poland failed to get a winner. And again, another player that we could be seeing coming at the end of his career in Lewandowski. Now, in this group, we could have got, there's 8 positions and therefore 8 points up for grabs in this group, Doug. Do you know what the score was between us? 1-0 to you. Yes. How bad are we, really? You know what I mean?
It's been this group was very, very good. I think Austria, for me, been one of the most impressive teams of this tournament. Ralph Rangnick, who was not deemed not good enough at Manchester United, is kind of shut up a lot of people, including Mr. Ronaldo, who said, "Oh, what kind of manager can manage Manchester United when you're not a coach?" Well, look what's happened. He's managed to take Austria to the next round. And look, I think I actually said it. I think in our preview show, they were my dark horses for the tournament. I think they are very, very well managed, and when you've got a manager who can be very, very good for a team, it obviously rubs off on the players, and they've been fabulous. Netherlands, I think the only player that really comes away from Netherlands really has played really, really well is Cody Gakpo, who has scored, I think, 2 goals in this tournament. France have been underwhelming.
Yes,
I believe that this is the first time a nation who has not even scored a goal from open play has actually made the next round of the Euros. Basically, France's first goal was an own goal by the Austrian centre back. They have no goals against Netherlands, and actually that should have been a goal for Netherlands against France. I still say to this day, Maignan is not getting down there. So it doesn't matter if Dumfries is standing in front of his eye line. Maignan is not getting down there. So Xavi Simons should have that goal against France. And then France draw with Poland. France drawing with Poland. Honest, look, they're very uninspiring. But this happened in 2018. They were very uninspiring then, and they still went on and won the tournament. Yeah. Do I think they'll win the tournament this time? I don't think so. and they were many people's favourites at the start.
One of the bookies' favourites, along with England. The interesting thing I want to say there is, and I don't know, but I wish I knew somebody that lived in France that could tell me how the French media were responding to this, because France played 3, won 1, drawn 2, lost 0, 2 goals scored 4, 1 against, +1, 5 points. Who does that remind you of?
England.
Yes, spot on. Exactly 100% the same as England. And we topped the group. You know what I mean? I know maybe all isn't, weeds in the rose garden, as they say. But look, I joked about Wreck-It Ralph. I really did. And I actually had Austria to finish 4th in this group. Shows how much I know. You weren't a lot better, Doug. You had them 3rd. France and Netherlands. I mean, look, that game, Netherlands-Austria 2-3. I mean, like you say, one of the games, if not the game of the tournament.
Yeah, no, that game had goals, it had excitement, had a very early substitution from Ronald Koeman. Like I'm going to say there's 3 managers at this tournament who I do not rate: Gareth Southgate, Ronald Koeman, and we'll get onto him, Roberto Martinez.
I'm sure. Sorry, did I laugh out loud there? But I got to say, look, us fans, we're always there to be proved wrong, aren't we? And I joke about Wreck-It Ralph, but when you look at some of these managers that haven't gone on and done well at Man United, but have gone on elsewhere, look at how well Ralph Rangnick's doing. David Moyes maybe had, Manchester United again had the balls to give their managers a little bit longer and say, look, guys, maybe have a couple of bad seasons, or then it will get better. But you're having a couple of bad seasons, get rid of somebody, have another couple of bad seasons. So, but fair play. No, fair play to Austria. You know what? I love it when Greece won it. Do you remember when Greece came through and won it? I think Denmark did the same, didn't they? Denmark came through and won it. And I love it. I love it when somebody like not one of the so-called big guys comes through and wins. The thing is, John says it's coming home. Problem is, if it's being delivered by Amazon and we're not in, they might leave it with the neighbours, and Scotland won't be in either. So I don't know what Amazon are going to do if it is coming home. And Niall is in. Hiya, Niall. How you doing? Difference between England and France is France have winners all over, and Deschamps has built up his reputation. I think we've got winners all over their goals. We just haven't got a leader, so to speak, on that. Right, yeah. So, I mean, surprise group, but fair play to Austria. I mean, they did lose one, but it wasn't like you say, it wasn't they didn't get stuffed, did they? Poland, disappointing again. Lewandowski, is this the end of him?
Yes, I think he's going to retire. I can see him retiring from international football. He might have a couple more years at the highest level, but yeah, I think this is the last time we'll see Lewandowski at a major tournament.
Yes, yeah. It happens, doesn't it? You know what I mean? Especially, I think, when you are a team like Poland, and no disrespect to the other players, but they only have the one shining light. You tend to notice when that light starts to dim a little bit. My God, I'm getting rather philosophical with all my sayings, aren't I? Right, Group E. We didn't do an awful lot better here, to be honest with you. I'd say, because on the last one we had both had France top, Netherlands second. On this one, we both had Belgium top and Ukraine second. You got a point for putting Slovakia in third and Romania fourth. I got to say, I am really, really pleased that Romania on top, because my neighbour's Romanian, and he's very generous.
Right.
Very, very generous at sharing the beers. Bless them. It was their Easter a while ago, and they come around with a plate of sort of food, just cooked food, and a beer, and I eat it just out of politeness. I don't really, think of the figure, but out of politeness. So well done, Romania. Yeah, again though, Romania, you had them bottom, so you've done a me in this tournament.
Yeah.
In this group, I had them third, with Slovakia fourth. Both of us, they say, had Ukraine second. But let's talk Romania first of all. Fair play to them.
Absolutely. First game they beat Ukraine by 3-0, and I think
Yes.
a lot of people maybe had expected maybe Ukraine to maybe pinch a win in that one, but no, I think Romania been a big surprise for me, and they narrowly lost to Belgium as well. Who well, let's be honest, Belgium have been anything but underwhelming, really bad. You could say that they've made a big waffle up about this group.
You could say it. You could say it, Doug. Nobody else would.
Slovakia, look, I think this group has been. I mean, obviously Slovakia got the shock win against Belgium, but again, it wasn't really a shock win, because Belgium at the last tournament, they went out. They went out of a group that had Morocco, Croatia, and Canada, and actually they were very poor then. This time, I mean, Ukraine have been a very big disappointment for me. I know that they what I think. I mean, obviously, all these teams have won one game.
Yeah.
That Ukraine Belgium game was not great. And actually, what Kevin De Bruyne did at the end of that Ukraine game was an absolute disgrace. He literally, basically, they were booed off, and he just there were actually a couple of players to go over and try fans and say, obviously, thank you for coming. What does De Bruyne do? Nah, lads, we'll just go straight down the tunnel. We'll just go straight down the tunnel. We won't acknowledge the fans, and that's the captain of Belgium.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Ukraine. Somebody said to me, he's a bit fed up with all this outpouring of grief for Ukraine. He didn't mean it horribly, but he said, it is down. It should be down to football. Whether these teams go through, and we shouldn't be thinking, well, that we feel sorry for that team because they're in the war. But that said, that's nothing to do with the war or anything that's going on. 4 points. 4 points sees you go through as group winners. 4 points sees you knocked out. We touched on it earlier. Bloody stupid, isn't it?
It is, but I think the damage was done in the first game. You don't lose 3-0 in the first game because it's basically uphill struggle from then. It's unlucky, but I think if we're looking at it from looking at what obviously Slovakia did against Belgium, I know they lost to Ukraine. Slovakia, obviously, they drew with Romania, of course. But I think Ukraine losing 3-0 was always going to be an uphill struggle. And actually, they should have beat Belgium, because if they had beaten Belgium, Belgium would have been bottom.
Please take this in the way it's meant, which is tongue in cheek. Lukaku for the Golden Boot.
Well, if you talk about goals being offside and down to VAR, then yes, he's been poor. But to be fair, I think the only player that's actually been very good for Belgium is Yuri Tillemans.
Yeah, you won't get me giving him any praise at all, but I've put there Belgium worse than England. Yeah, I think they have been, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they've been poor. Shocking. I mean, we did say their golden generation is sort of going away from them, but I think their side. I mean, they've obviously got. Okay, Courtois is not in goal. I think that's one thing you can say. Their best goalkeeper is not there. they've obviously had Castagna, they've had Jan Vertonen's still playing. He must be about 36, 37, Jan Vertonen. Then obviously Wout Bays, who, we don't know if he's still going to be around at Leicester, because I think he's one of the ones that...
Hopefully not. He's not. I'm not his biggest fan, to be honest with you.
I've seen some of your shows recently, and you've not been very, very kind about Bays. But the fact that Barcelona wanted him makes me laugh, actually, because I think he's had a poor tournament as well. None of Belgium's players has really turned up in this tournament. I mean, they got France next. I mean, if we're being honest, France Belgium. It's literally underwhelming team 1 versus underwhelming team 2.
Yes, totally. Well, let's have a look and take it through to. I think we've only got one more group left, and that's Group F. We kind of peaked at the start. Shall I say that, Doug?
Yeah.
Because we got a point for Portugal coming top. We both had, well, in fact, we agreed 100% on this. Portugal top, Czechia second, Turkey third, and Georgia fourth. I have got to say, I am really pleased, Georgia. They were able basically to get on that last train and make it to the Euros.
You can have that one, because I obviously did the Belgian waffle.
Yeah. Oh, midnight train to Georgia. Well, that was. I got to be honest with you. All I could do all tournament is watch their games. I always have them on my mind. Georgia on my mind. Yes. Anyway, moving on quickly. Dig me out of a hole there, please, Doug.
I think Portugal scraped through a 2-1 win over Czech Republic. They thumped Turkey, and that obviously meant them to win the group. Turkey beat Georgia. That was one of the games of the tournament. Turkey-Georgia. That was attacking football. That was end to end. Probably seen 2 of the best goals in that game as well. Arda Güler's one was an absolute peach, and then the right back of Turkey scored a volley as well. Pardon the pun, they got stuffed by Portugal. And then the Republic Turkey game was a very bad-tempered game, because there was 18 yellow cards and 2 reds.
Was it? I've got 16 cards. I must have lost count at one point.
Yeah, there was 18 yellows, and 18 yellows in the game. And then, there was a couple. No, actually, there was
2 reds.
There was a red card during the game. Yeah, there was 2 reds.
Yes,
There was. I think there were 16 yellows in the actual game, and then obviously 1 red, and then there was another 3 cards shown at the end. There was 1 red and there was 2 yellows.
But even during the game, you know what we were saying earlier about a team going out because their assistant manager got a yellow card.
Yeah,
that referee was. I mean, how many of the people's, on the bench, management coaches, the reserve goalkeeper, and then the third choice goalkeeper. I mean, let's not just stick at reserves here. Let's go for the third choice keepers as well. They both got yellow cards. I put there jokingly said Romanian ref sponsored by Clinton's. I mean, it was. I mean, it's a record. But again, if either of those teams had gone out on that card rule, they'd have only had themselves to blame.
Yeah, they would have done. Yeah, absolutely. And what did we say about Georgia? First international tournament, and they beat Portugal. I know it's a changed Portugal side, but it's so nice to see Ronaldo continue a moaning little bum.
Totally.
But I've got to say, Georgia were fantastic against Portugal, and they've really impressed me actually this whole tournament. I know obviously they lost to Turkey, they drew with Czech Republic, but beating Portugal, that's one of the shocks of the tournament. But I think I think their goalkeepers had a good tournament as well. Marmadashvili, who I think plays for Valencia. Watch out for him. I think there's going to be a few suitors for him in the summer. But yeah, Georgia, fantastic to see. And they'll give Spain a game. They'll definitely give Spain a game next time.
Yeah. Right. These are the third place teams. So you can see there: Netherlands, Georgia, Slovakia, Slovenia, Hungary. And Croatia are on there. But what I want to just point out here is that actually we have touched on this twice, but I have done the graphic for it, so I'm going to use it. You can see there in Group E, Ukraine 4 points, and yet they've not made it through because teams on less points have gone through. And I know I've said this, I don't want to go on too long about it, but I don't understand that. It's a stupid rule, surely.
Yeah, it's a stupid rule. The fact that Hungary could have gone through with 3 points as well, and I think Croatia needed a lot of results to go their way. I think they needed England to thump Slovenia, and they needed Denmark to beat Serbia, and then I think they needed Portugal to beat Georgia, and none of them happened.
None of it did. So, all right. Well, so we've embarrassed ourselves completely with those scores. So I'm just looking here because we did do the on the group predictions. You got 27 out of 53. I got 20 out of 53. So we're moving on very quickly from that. On this one, it was closer. Let me say, neither of us reached the heights of 50%. I'm going to say that. None of us certainly did not manage Sam Allardyce's England manager win percentage. Doug, you got 8 right. I got 6. So you're still better than us. So well done on that. But should we have a bit of fun with the next round?
Oh yes, let's do that.
I'm not going to take it any further because what we'll probably do is do a review of the round of 16, because otherwise we're just guessing who might win, and then if they get knocked out, it's all silly and what have you. So here we go then. So we've got Doug and we have got myself. So the first game up here, and here they all are, is Switzerland versus Italy.
Yeah, I think this is going to go to penalties. I think it'll be a 1-1 draw between them two for the next minutes, and I actually think Switzerland will beat Italy on penalties.
Ooh, now I am not going to be as informative as you are, but I am going to agree with you. Though I do think Switzerland, in some form or another, will actually get the points on that or go through. Germany, Denmark.
Sorry, Denmark. Unfortunately, you're not bringing home the bacon in this one. I'm going to go Germany.
Do you know, that was the worst thing you could have said.
Hey.
Germany is the only place where the verse sausage can win an award. So you're going for Germany. Yeah, I can't see Denmark. On what I've seen so far, I can't see them doing anything, to be honest with you, either. England, Slovakia.
I think you'll scrape through. I'm going to England 2-1. I think I said in my 2-1 England.
Yeah, I mean, I can't see us doing. I mean, it's the best we could have hoped for of a draw.
Yeah.
We've avoided, any of the big boys that are on our side, but we're just not impressive at the moment. So I think we'll do enough. We'll probably get an early goal after, let's say, 3. In fact, I'll predict this. We'll get an early goal after 3 minutes, and then we'll bring on some subs and go defensive for 87. There we
Yeah.
go. That's my summing up of the game.
One thing I will say to you though, Slovakia have scored in every game, so they've scored first in every game in the group stage. So I think they have to score the first goal on Sunday to have any chance.
Oh, that's not made me happy. Spain, Georgia. Only one winner here, isn't there, Doug?
Yeah, look, I think Georgia have done absolutely amazing to get through, but yeah, Spain. I honestly think Spain could go really, really far, so I'm going to go Spain.
And if I'm honest with you, I think they'll have learnt a lot from that Morocco game in the World Cup.
I think so. Yeah.
Of taking teams lightly. I'm not saying that they've done that, but I think they'll want to make sure that doesn't happen again. And I think if Spain were to lose against Georgia, that would be up there with them losing to Morocco in the World Cup.
Absolutely.
Right. France versus Belgium again. I'll go first on the next four if you like.
Yeah, sure.
For me, this will be, like you say, two teams that haven't really set the tournament alight yet. It will be France for me, but only just.
Yeah, I've gone France. I think they will beat Belgium, though. Funnily enough, you say that it could be just France. France actually beat Belgium 1-0 in the 2018 World Cup, so it could be potentially the same sort of scoreline there as well. But yeah, I'm going to go France as well. But I've not been impressed with either team.
No, you're quite right. Now, I'm really hating saying this. Portugal, Slovenia. I think Portugal are going to win it. I can't see Slovenia doing too much, even if it's a Ronaldo belting free kick or whatever you. I actually, because of the way that the draws worked out, I wouldn't necessarily bet against Portugal going all the way.
No, I wouldn't either. I mean, basically, I think they play France in the next round if my memory serves me correctly. And then I think it's Spain, Germany. If that was to happen as well. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting. That's the draw. But yeah, for me, I think this is where Slovenia's time ends. Unfortunately, I'm going to go Portugal.
Yes, there's a lot of big games in the next round, in the quarterfinals, isn't there? Potentially.
Yeah, there certainly is. Yeah.
Yes. Now then, this could be interesting, and I think we may disagree on this one. Romania, Netherlands. I think we both said, Netherlands have failed to impress again. One of the teams that haven't really got themselves going yet. I think this is going to be the surprise of the round of 16, because I'm actually going to have a little not a bet, but maybe a little bet on Romania, because I think they could actually beat Netherlands.
Well, believe it or not, I've actually said draw after 90 minutes, and I'm going Romania on penalties.
Wow. I thought, because we've literally agreed on every single one, I thought that might be the one that we actually disagreed on.
I just have a feeling, I just got a funny feeling that something might happen in that game. And
yes.
I don't think the Dutch are great defensively. I don't think Romania are great defensively. So I think that could be a very interesting game. It'll be interesting to see if they bleach their hair yellow as well.
Yes, you remember that. Fair play to them. Fair play. Terva Vante, we're going to be looking at that next, actually, who England can get in the draws. Possibly the hardest one to predict, Austria-Turkey. I'm actually going for Austria on this one, because I think they're on a roll. And Turkey, I think they'll be gobbled up by Austria.
Yeah, I think Austria might take the stuffing out of them.
Oh God! I avoided stuffing. I went for the gobble. That sounds wrong, doesn't it? But I've got to say, how many players have Turkey got available for this game? Because they must be losing half of them with all the yellow cards and red cards. They'll be playing a 1-1-2 or something like that. It'll be ridiculous. And I think Austria are on a roll. And like you say, with Wreck-It Ralph in charge, I think Turkey, this is the end of the road for them. I think this will be their Christmas day. And I think and I think Austria will go through on this one.
Yeah. In fact, do you know the funny thing is we've actually agreed on all these because I've got Austria as well.
Yeah, and I don't believe it. I talk about sort of making sure you don't lose.
Yeah, yeah. I just think again. I think this might be a goal fest. I think this might be a bit of a goal fest. Turkey can't defend, but they can score some absolute pearlers. So I think Austria win this one.
Well, so basically, like that is. I thought the last two would be the ones where we disagree. I think the others. But yeah, I think the others are pretty much nailed on, if you like, for the favourites to win each of them. I think those last two, I thought we would disagree on, but no, that is going to be interesting, and we will come back and do this after the round of 16 if you want, Doug.
Absolutely, yeah.
Brilliant. Well, let's have a look at England. Just to finish on this, then, because we're going on. We're up to an hour. Well, it's been an hour and 20. England's possible route to the final. So here we go. This is the way that it could go. We've got Slovakia. So if we beat Slovakia, we will play the winners of Switzerland or Italy. Now, Italy, we've beaten them twice in the group stages. Oh, no, in the qualification group stage, is what I'm saying. If we were to get past that, on our reckoning, it would be Romania or Austria. That one would be very difficult to that could be a really good game, but a difficult one to get. So that's our way. And it is a big if we get past Slovakia. I'd be more worried about Switzerland than Italy, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I would be as well. I don't think I'd fancy you against either team, if I'm being honest. But I think you'd have more chance against Italy than you would have against Switzerland. Well, if you do get Switzerland, hopefully you won't get Swiss rolled.
For fuck's sake. I mean, I'm going to give you credit for not doing the flag joke, because I thought that was one you were going to do. But I suppose that at least if Switzerland were to win the whole tournament, that they could have the trophy delivered by Yodel. Oh, God. There, boom! That's a new one. Look, it's knockout tournament, so anything can happen. I think we will struggle against Slovakia, but we may just sneak through. Then it could be penalties, Switzerland or Italy. We've lost to Italy on penalties. Obviously, we beat Switzerland when we came third in the Nations League, and then it's stick a finger in the air to who you play. But look at the teams in the other draw, in the other half of the draw that we could only meet in the final: Germany, Spain, Portugal, France, and Belgium. This is why it's so important to do well in the group. If we'd have finished second, we would have had Germany. I think we'd have been on our way home then, to be honest with you. But then you've also got Spain, Portugal, France, or Belgium. And I'm including Belgium in there. I mean, wow. I mean, that's in the next round, we could be watching Germany, Spain, Portugal, France. What amazing games we could be seeing on that half of the table.
I know. Basically, the rerun of 2016 final between Portugal and France, with Portugal won 1-0. And we also have the equivalent of the 2008 final where Spain beat Germany 1-0.
Yes.
That's madness, absolute madness.
Yeah, but that won't happen in the finals. That could only happen in the quarters or the semis.
Indeed.
I'm not sure. I don't know if you've got it there. How it actually works out. Who plays who on that side of the draw? I haven't put them in any particular. Oh, here we go. I've got it here actually. So Spain, Georgia will play the winner of that. Will play the winner of Germany, Denmark. So the quarterfinal could be Spain, Germany, with Portugal and France. I can't believe I literally cannot believe. I know I said the other day it hasn't really kicked off yet. This could be where it really does get exciting. And then, of course, you could be having, Spain or Germany versus Portugal or France. So really, really, that is, I think, where it's going to get really good. Look, Nate has come in just as we're going. Hi, Nate. Ronald,
better late than never.
Yeah, yes, indeed. You got a note from your mother, Nate. He's in America, in fairness to him. I've not been impressed by anybody, says Ronald. It'll be surprised if they don't win the tournament. This is the best chance since 1966 to lift it. Yeah, let's not get too excited, eh? Let's not get too excited. Very, very finally, who did we have winning the shit shirt competition?
I can't remember.
Do you know what we should do? We should have done the shit shirt competition the way that they do the groups.
Yes, we should have done.
And then we could do that. Then we could have the knockout stage and have a winner of the shit shirts.
Oh, that would be amazing. Yeah. Oh, we definitely need to do the cup then.
We'll do that for the Premier League, mate.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Although I'm not sure when Leicester's new shirt's going to be out. We might actually just keep the same shirt for 2 seasons the way it's going. Doug, look, mate, thank you so very, very much.
My very pleasure.
Appreciated that. I think we have shown each other up in the fact that we, neither of us particularly know much when it comes to predicting football, do we? But,
not our finest. Let's put it that way.
No. No, it definitely wasn't Croatia, Ronald. Definitely wasn't Croatia. It was awful this season, wasn't it? This year, the tournament. Doug, got your link in the description below on my channel. But for my listeners, tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me at the Dugout Football channel on YouTube, and also on X at Enod_1982, Instagram at Douglas Stallhorn, and Facebook at Douglas James Horn.
Brilliant. And anybody that's on Doug's channel that wants to follow me, you'd be most welcome. We both of us, do like fans from other clubs coming in and chatting with us. LTID TV. It's as simple as that on everything. LTID TV or Leicester Till I Die. It will come up with both of them. Doug, thank you very much, mate. Have a great weekend. Round of 16s kick off. We'll see how if we can do any better at this than we did with the groups. But all the best, mate, and give my best to Rebecca and Nathan as well. Take care.
Thank you very much. See you later. Take care.
Bye bye.
Cheers. Bye bye. Bye.
Very good. Thanks to Craig there. I really do appreciate him giving his time up and coming on and showing just how bad we are at these predictions. So we agree. Round of 16, we agree on every single one. Switzerland to beat Italy, Germany to beat Denmark, England to just get through against Slovakia, Spain to beat Georgia, France, Belgium, that could be tight as well, Portugal, Slovenia, Romania to beat the Netherlands, again another tight one, Austria to beat Turkey. Okay, thanks very much. Like I say to anyone, any of my guys, please get over to the Dugout Football channel. Anybody that's watching via Doug's channels, please come over and give us a subscribe on LTID TV. 2 channels that really get on very, very well, as all football fans should. And we do a lot of these joint broadcasts as well. Thank you very much. I will be back at some point over the weekend with the next round of matches. We'll be doing watch-alongs for them. Take care. Appreciate your time. And don't do anything I wouldn't enjoy. And I will see you tomorrow for the first of the last 16 games. Take care now. Goodbye.
Thanks for watching. These videos are tremendous. You better like them too, or I'll be back.
This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network.
TalkSport. Powered by fans.
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.